Hello, Linked HR, wherever you are in the world. It's nice to have this first recording of the year. I am Dr. Chris Wildermuth, your community chair, and this is one more session of Flash Learning. So for our Flash Learning and discussion this week, I thought I'd bring back something that I talked about a long time ago when I first started on Linked HR. And that was, what would your advice be to your younger self? If you could sit down with you starting your career, what is it that you would say? How is it that you would help yourself have a better career or simply be happier at that time? So let me share what I would tell my younger self. The first thing I would say to myself is, you will be, or you are even now, both a leader and a follower. As a leader, your most important job is to care for the people who are following you. That's your top task. As a follower, your job is to help your leader do just that, care for his or her people. To me, you see the idea of a servant leader or a benevolent leader, a leader for whom the biggest priority is the welfare of the people under their responsibility, is very near and dear to my heart, is very important. Now, related to that idea that I was both a leader and a follower, I also needed to think of my responsibilities as a follower. And then here comes my lesson 2 to my younger self. Don't enable toxic leaders. I've been doing a lot of studying on toxic leadership lately because I'm working on a toxic leadership chapter with a group of wonderful grad students from Drake University. And one of the things that I'm learning as I continue my research is that toxic leaders don't exist in a vacuum. They are hired, they are promoted, they are usually lauded by people who are above them, who don't have a clue of what they're doing, and they are enabled by their followers. Their followers just give up. What I would say to my younger self was, try your hardest to fight toxic leaders. And you know what? If you can't fight them, get out of that job. One thing that I thought when I was younger was that if I didn't stay in a job for at least a year, my resume would be destroyed forever and nobody would ever hire me because they would look at my resume and they would see that horrible time that was less than a year, and that probably meant I was a terrible employee. Well, no, that wasn't the case, and I hope there isn't an HR person out there listening to me who thinks that the fact that somebody left a job in less than a year means that that person is horrible. Guess what? Maybe the leader was horrible, and maybe that person who was the boss was not a leader at all. Sometimes I think we pay too much attention to what somebody's ex-boss said, but that's something for another Flash Learning. The third thing I would say to myself is, you are worthy and you have gifts that you need to share. And when you hide those gifts under guilt or shame or feelings of being an imposter, we talked about that in previous Flash Learnings, what you are doing is you are denying your colleagues, your leaders, your followers, your peers, your family, everybody around you, of something that only you have. You are beautiful just the way you are. And I should have told that to myself, and I should have started saying that to other people around me much, much earlier. But it's never too late, and it's time for me to tell you that. You are great the way you are. You have unique gifts that only you bring. What will you do with them? So, 2 questions for you. What would you tell your younger self? And what advice would you have for new colleagues joining this wonderful field of HR? That's it for this week, a short message. Have a wonderful week and happy learning.